Avengers! Assemble.
That's a freaking amazing. I love that scene, man. It's so freaking cool.
It's beautiful.
But you guys can hear it, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, totally.
What?
You guys can hear it?
Huh?
Or you can't hear it?
I can't, but these guys can.
Old. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody can hear it. You guys can't hear, but I know you guys at home can. So
I heard it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
did?
heard it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right. So that was a good one. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear this.
Even if I can't, I can.
Yeah.
Everybody can, but
amazing scene, amazing movie.
What?
Wow.
The movie was pretty good. I love it. It was so funny.
Amazing.
But yeah, I think we have a lot of topics that we can talk. But welcome everyone to another episode of Between Collectors. And as you can see, we have, I don't know, Avengers level panel, all-star panel. We're still waiting for Lael, who should be joining us shortly. Unfortunately, Brother Cousins cannot make it tonight, but shout out to you, my friend. But yeah, we're gonna have an amazing show. We have an amazing panel, and I'm gonna start with my boy BIGBREDA Joe in the house. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, hello. How are you? Thank you for having me here. It's amazing, right?
So much excitement.
That emotion is so exciting, man. I feel the energy right now. Like I get goosebumps.
No, man, it's really good to be around such a beautiful panel and to talk about the things we love the most. So you can see my excitement.
Economy
as always.
and okay, and of course we're gonna say hi to Mr. Costa, Pop Culture Living Room in the house with amazing display behind him. What's up, my friend?
Hey, pleasure to be here. I'm trying to match Joel's enthusiasm.
Stick to the
You're
script.
great.
But
You're
no,
doing great.
Difficult. You are doing great.
well, let me tell you a couple of things. Let's bring this up. I'm doing my dad right now. Never mind.
Do I sound like that?
There was like a Sylvester Stallone hint in
I was
there.
actually doing my dad.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing you. But no, thank you. This is awesome. I love all the people on this panel. So this is gonna be a fun night. Let's just keep it loose and have some fun.
Yeah, it you guys are amazing. So I was thinking to do a show like this with a lot of people. Usually I don't like to do that because I want to give everyone time to talk. When we have a big panel, it's kind of hard for everyone. But once in a while, we usually go to Will's channel, to Anthony's, to Desi's, to everyone. So I think let's just put them together and just talk to you guys and just share what we have. And talking about Avengers, look who just joined here, Mr. Lael, my lawyer, finally given the approval to be here. That's why he was a bit late.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with him. Yeah.
Are we good? Did you guys? We're good, right? Did you
Yeah,
send me the
hold on
money
a
or
second.
not?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
All right, so he's gonna get what he owes me.
Uh-oh.
Just got to sign one more signature. That's fine.
That's how it works.
So, I have the documents right here. So
The contract is
this
there.
says, and I repeat, so to the following, the following party, Dante, hereby submitted this disclaimer that these are the things you're allowed to talk about and not to talk about.
Correct.
One, you are not allowed to accuse him of being part of the, what is this? Oh yeah. You are not allowed to basically accuse him of, disclaiming or, bypassing pre-orders to any type of company because it wasn't his fault. Hereby, you are admitting this live that it was not his fault. I decline, but at the same time, I just said it just because. And on top of that, you are not allowed to ask or insinuate that he is going to teach you Spanish lessons. That's fucked up because I paid for that. But anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, that's the disclaimer. That's all. So yes, everything's clear. So we're good to go. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Jesse, Metamorphic Customs in the house. Hello, sir.
What's up, man? Let's bring the enthusiasm a little bit back here. Even though I'm really tired, I'm happy to be here. This is an awesome panel. So thanks, man. Thanks for the invite. Looking forward to it.
And of course, you know him. He's a doctor. He's a doctor. Sexy doctor.
Oh, is that true?
Foxification in the house. Hello, Mr. Doctor. Mr. WILLFOX Doctor Foxification, sir.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Rodriguez, I would just like to follow in your footsteps and, learn the forbidden language, as Lael puts it. So, that's why I'm here, honestly. I'm here for the lessons. So, but yeah, man, happy to be here. So it's going to be fun. And, I'm glad you assembled this Avengers level panel.
Will,
what's up, bro?
Please don't say that because it's.
Oh, shit. My bad. Contractually, I retract my statement contractually.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, take note of that, Your Honor. So, but yes, I will say thank you so much for having me, man. You assembled a great panel, so it's going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a fun show. And of course, Mr. Mafia with an amazing show. If you guys haven't seen his show, let me see if I remember the name. Is Calling the Shots? Is that what it is? Dude, I was freaking, that show is freaking amazing. You guys need to watch that show. Anthony, welcome, my friend. Glad to see you here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm having a problem with my thing again, like Saturday night, so I might have to refresh to rejoin. It's something with melon. It's something melon, with melon. Yeah. I don't get it, but always a pleasure to be here with everybody tonight. Look at this fine panel here, man.
And of course, you know him. He just showed you the paperwork because he was working very tirelessly to get this done. Mr. Lyle in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Yeah, glad that we could, agree to something and get this done. So glad that it's out of the way. This has been a hold up. I mean, I'm surprised that you got this stuff over here quickly. After the other night. So, yes, I'm glad to be here, bro. Appreciate it, man. It's been a long day, but yeah, the building. So glad to be a part of the panel and. Despite the simple fact that it's probably been about 6 months that I've been asking Desi for like a detail, or not. I've been asking you for not a detail, but of a custom diorama, and for some reason it's like I get ghosted. But we'll talk about that the other day.
It's on the list. You're on the list. It's like on there's a list. You're on the list. You're on it though.
That's Lael. You're on it. Up at the top. No.
Nah, hell no. That's also in the disclaimer too. That we'll talk about that.
We're supposed to put that in the. Yeah, that was in the forums, but whatever. That's all right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Well, you guys need to stick with the script, Please, just get your script. Just
stick to the script.
Like Costa, right. You see Costa stick with the script.
Yeah, right here it says we have to mention that Dante satisfies his wife 3 times a night.
Oh, Jesus!
So much.
Mine doesn't say that. What the hell?
He's like, mine was amazing.
I know, like you put something in different for everybody. What the hell's going on, Dante?
What a good lawyer.
So, and thank you guys for watching. This is all we have for tonight. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, be well and see you. Just kidding. We have nothing to talk about, really. I mean, we already spoke so much about everything that's been happening. But before we start to kind of think about a topic to discuss tonight, I want to say hi to the people in the chat because, you guys are amazing. And without you guys, none of us will be here. So let me start with, this thing is going to drive me crazy tonight. So please bear with me. With Peter. Dude, I'm telling you, this thing is freaking annoying. Like the messages start popping up twice, like doubles. So, like the other day, I was reading messages and I was going in circles, literally.
You were. That's why
I was like, this thing is taking me forever. Then I got so many messages. Man, these people is really active tonight. But Positive Peter says, man, hot damn, what a superstar panel. Stuck at work again tonight, but I can wait to catch the replay. Have a great stream, guys. Much love and respect. Thank you so much, my friend. I think he's going to drop a video or a live stream on Friday.
We're doing
with you, right, Lyle?
Yeah, we're doing the this is actually the Posing Academy. So I'm extremely excited about that. It'd be me, him, Iron Logan, and the posing. The 60 Posing channel, I believe. With Anthony. Yeah. So we're going to be actually just doing like a posing tutorial, or we're going to actually all be posing the same figure, I believe. I would have had a leg up on the competition if I actually had a custom diorama, but how that shit works. It just, well,
you know what? Let me
kind of not gonna die.
Nope.
For disclaimer, you know, when Desi did that diorama for me for Thanos with the barrel and all that, I've been using that diorama in pretty much some of the videos. If you notice, like Batman,
Yeah.
I use it
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank
for
you.
the Mandalorian. I use it for Cable, even for Dragon Ball figures,
So-
man.
I got it
Ooh.
figured out then. I'm just going to hijack your IG or your email and send it to Desi. Then maybe I'll get it then. You know what I mean? I'll use your name.
His address isn't the same. All right, whatever.
Leo's got a good
Whatever.
plan here.
Yeah, that's just the same. So we're brothers. Shay's in the house. We have Mark Attack, CN, OG fan, Renz Tolentino, the Insane One. We have AJ in the house. We have Single Soul Rider. As always, thank you so much for your support. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Blackbird Tech, 12-inch. Moose Dream in the house. Man, I just want to make sure that I'm not repeating myself here. Okay, Two Ferns. Oh, look at that. Look at this guy. Rally Reviews in the house. What's up, my friend? Welcome. Zeno in the house. The Clone Collector. We have, let's see, Carlos in the house. What's up, my friend? Pablo Mesa. We have, well, Nightbot. This is my Nightbot. Talia Mayer in the house. I want to know, guys, you know, if you can let me know in the chat who is new, who just came here for the very, very first time. I would like to kind of read it and see. Chris Santos in the house as well. Oh, look at that. Mandalorian Huntress. Hello, how are you? CT603. We have FBJ in the house. I'm looking for, let me see if I'm going in circles, man. Probably I am going in circles. Okay, Ruben G. Yeah, this thing is weird.
Your lawyer's watching too.
Is watching too. We have Tremble Dust. Tully in the house. The Clone Collector. Will Rustification. Let's see. Okay, so we have Blurred That Life. Good evening. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Oh, look at this guy. Mira, todos estos gringos no tienen idea de lo que estoy diciendo. Puedo hablar de su estupidez, de su estúpida colección y no tendrán ni idea.
I'm not gringo, I'm Russian, so don't speak to me.
That's it. So let me translate. He says, Carlos says, oh, look at all these guys. They have an amazing collection. I love you all. God bless.
That's not what he wrote.
That sounds just like him.
Alvin J.
Look at all these.
Oh, what he wrote, man. What the fuck?
Okay, I tell you, you told, look at these gringos. Okay, gringos, they will translate for what? Americans? Or how do you translate gringos? I don't know. You just say I can talk about their stupid collection and they don't know what I'm talking about.
This guy. Yep. Good. Thank you for Google Translator for helping us out on this one. Chris Santos in the house. Great panel tonight. FBJ. Okay, I think I'm going in circles now. Oh, we have IsPopsic with a $4.99 super chat like a bantha. And you know, every time that he said it, I have to put it because it's been a while. It's been a minute, man.
Like a bantha. Yes. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Like a bantha. Like a bantha. Like a bantha. Like a bantha.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. I'm looking at my text messages.
Hey, hello. I'm replying.
Perfect timing.
All right, so let's see what we have tonight. What is my chat here now? Thank you, Popsic, for the super chat. And I think we are caught up. Maybe not. Oh my goodness. I think this is going in circles. So Fat Gadget.
Is it the melon?
Comics, yeah, the melons are not working.
The melons.
Lose limits. And okay, Angel in the house, Cosmics, Charles Rose. We have Jose Hernandez. Hello, everyone. How you doing, my friend? Let me see. Well, Pop Culture is here. SIY? See? Hello, Hot Toys Brothers. What's up, my friend? And everyone watching at home, thank you so much, everyone. Keep popping the comments. We're going to get there. Trust me, we're going to get there. All right, so we're going to start with the first topic real quick so we can get this going and you guys don't fall asleep on me. So, all right, so let me see if I can get this thing to work the way I want. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about this topic. Okay, so why is it not showing now? Somebody's
Technical difficulties.
There we go. Where are they now? So I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna randomize this thing here.
We're right here, dude.
All right, so we're gonna start in order, and then we're just gonna kind of like shuffle it a little bit. So I'm gonna share my screen and talk about this thing. Where are they now? So these are figures that Hot Toys teased, but still not announced, still not released, nothing. So, I kind of like this split. So
I think that's updated.
Yeah, this is a new one, right?
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
Wow.
We're
Yep.
split. We could play like a game over here or something.
Yeah, we got the A team, over here. We got the B team over
We
here.
play some volleyball or something.
All right, so let's do that. A team and B team. Let's see how many people will get it right. So guys at home, write the answers down. So I'm gonna start with Joao. Joao, Hot Toys teased this figure a couple times. Bespin Han, and so far nothing. Crickets.
I think it was only one time.
No, they did. They actually did. Well, it's one time, but several pictures for this particular.
This was when 2015 or 16.
Bespin Leia.
I think it was.
No, it was like 2019 or something
19?
like that. Yeah, or 2020
Was it?
something.
So
No,
what do you think?
2020 is impossible.
Do you think it's impossible? Do you think we can have some hope?
For what? For the Han
Bespin
Solo?
Yeah, Bespin Han to be finally announced at one point. Or it's a lost cause right now.
I don't believe that much at this moment. To be honest, I can see them doing the Indiana Jones from the new movie, but I don't know. I don't see them doing this now.
So it's a
the
no.
time
It's
is
a nay for you?
the time is has passed already. Something happened with the licensing or something like that they probably didn't have the chance to make it, and I don't think this will never come to light. I may be wrong, but that's just my perception. But Hot Toys always do the things the opposite way that we think, so who knows, right?
That's true. That's true. Well, do you think this is gonna happen at one point, or that's it? This is just one tease and done.
See, that's such a tough one, Dante, because I think Joao hit the nail on the head that it's like Hot Toys is very unpredictable sometimes. Sometimes they are very predictable, and sometimes like this, they just, come out of nowhere and just smack you with an unexpected surprise. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, right? Harrison Ford has to have something going on with his likeness where maybe he doesn't want figures made of him, or maybe the price is too high or something, right? That's preventing more Han Solo figures from being made. That would be my only guess. Whether this is going to come eventually, I think it still will. I think it will, just because I think it makes sense for it not to. So it's almost like I want to go against that, because Hot Toys is pretty much going to always, like Joao said, they're going to try to do the opposite of what you think, right? And since we know almost nothing about what the license costs for the likeness rights, or, what the business side of this is, there's so much that we can speculate without really knowing, like, whether it's what's prohibiting this from being made and whether it's realistic or not. So for me, I mean, I know this would sell, right? Because people really want a Han Solo, and they only made the old Han and then the New Hope Han. So yeah, man, people are desperate for this. And now that they're creating all these Bespin figures, you have Lando, you have the Luke now, you have Leia. I mean, you have a line of Empire figures that can be made here. So I think eventually this will. When? Who knows? Because it could pop up tomorrow, right? It could pop up, in a year or 5 years, right? Maybe. I mean, I don't want to put that on. Maybe when Harrison Ford passes away, right, and his estate has control of these things, and that could be something in 20 years, right? Like, it could be then, right? So I don't know, but I mean, I do think this is going to be made eventually. It's just a matter of time.
So Will thinks it will happen.
Yeah, it shall.
It shall happen. All right, so I'm gonna go with Costa on this one. Costa, what are the odds? What is your gut feeling telling you? Do you think we're gonna finally ever get a freaking Bespin Han, or that's pretty much it? Pictures.
Personally, I think we will get a Bespin Han. I was going to suggest, Harrison Ford dying as one of the ways we'll get it. just like Will said. The other way I think we might be able to get it is if he allows for the Indiana Jones, the new movie, to have figures. I always thought that George Lucas back in the day had them all sign their likenesses away when they were all part of Star Wars. I know it's been 40 years, but like Hasbro has no problem like whipping out, they're 3 3/4 or 6 inches, and they don't look exactly like them because of the their process, but for some reason Hasbro can make them. Why not Hot Toys? So that's I think I think it'll happen.
Yeah, and Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Bespin Han, we have pictures. We always talk about this one that it might happen, but so far there's nothing. Do you think finally you can say, you know what, I think this is not gonna happen? I mean, should we give up hope?
Yes. No, I'm serious. No, I don't think it's coming. Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. We all know it. If it's gonna be through Disney, Disney's gonna be gonna have to be the one to front the money, if he even wants money, right? Because does he need money? I mean, maybe he could be like, yeah, if you give me like $5 million or something, right? But I don't think it's happening, man. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong because I want one. I still want an Endor Han as well, from Return of the Jedi. I mean, fingers crossed for next year. If we were going to get anything, it would be that before Bespin, because this ship's already sailed for the 40th. We have 40th Jedi next year, so I just don't. I don't see it happening. I'm gonna say no.
Many hearts are gonna be broken. Desi,
I know.
Is your heart broken? Will it be broken?
Absolutely broken. This isn't happening. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like Will said, we can endlessly speculate, but really, we have Black Series with his likeness, we have comic books with his likeness, posters with his character on it, but he draws the lines at Hot Toys. I don't think so. It's got to be something else, like either approvals, maybe. I don't know what it is, but at this point, if it hasn't happened, I'd like to be surprised. So I'll say no, it's never going to happen, in hopes that somebody proves me wrong tonight.
And do you guys remember that one where Harrison Ford in that what was
Jimmy
the
Fallon?
show, the Tonight Show? He basically
where he broke it.
break
Yeah.
his own figure. It's like, I
He
don't
doesn't
think
care.
Hot Toys would feel very happy about this, right?
Well, that was the rumor, but I thought that was just a rumor that Howard was somehow insulted by that, and he vowed never to make another Harrison Ford figure. I thought that was just like BS, but I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Mr. Lyle.
Yep.
Should we give a hope at this point? No more Han Solos? Or do you think deep in your heart, because you're a Star Wars fan, that is gonna happen? Hopefully, at one point, I guess.
I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. I'm not going to rule it out and say it's not. Mainly because of the simple fact that, again, we do have the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi popping up. What happened with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and actually even not Return of the Jedi Empire, but even the 20th anniversary of Clone Wars, we were still basically getting Empire figures around that particular time. We got the Bespin, or we got the Snowspeeder Luke around that time. So they're still dipping in that well. They're still giving us certain figures. I mean, again, the 40th anniversary is already passed. They can't label it 40th anniversary anymore because that ship has already sailed. But I think it's still a possibility. It's still on the table. I mean, look, Howard Chan, regardless of anything's looking at money, money over anything else. Again, what Harrison Ford did, I mean, it could have pissed him off. I wouldn't actually rule that out. But with Star Wars, I mean, it's a cash cow in North America. They know basically that they can make money off of it. I still want to give it. I'm just going to be the optimistic person to say that they possibly could. Hell, if they give us a 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and they give us that, that Endor Han, then, definitely, that would be a possibility as well, that they can dip in the well and do it. We just have to see, I guess, for right now. You never know where they are with Star Wars figures. They're right now, they're in Mando mode. So Mando is taking up over precedence over everything else. Everything that's on the streaming services is taking precedence over everything else. But you know, again, we still have the 40th anniversary. They can surprise us. We never know. I mean, look, they're saying that we're still looking, or they're looking forward to releasing, you know, figures from Attack of the Clones. So we can still possibly see a Mace. We can still possibly see a Padme. Who knows? You know, we've been waiting on this for a long time. I don't know. But again, it's a wait and see type of situation. We'll just have to see how it works, man. But it's with Howard and Star Wars. We know that's his first love. I mean, that's one of his loves. We just got to wait and see how it's going to plan out, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we just gotta wait, man. At this point, I still think that it's gonna happen at one point. I will not rule it out.
Yeah.
But let me say hi to Carlos and thank you for the $5 super chat. He said, "I hope they make a Bespin hand so Harrison Ford can destroy another figure." Yeah. Can you imagine? You know, I'm trying to think. Imagine if he is somebody else's figure. Let's say, you know, one of the people from that show say, "Hey, no, I have a Hot Toys." You know, "Oh yeah, bring your Han Solo so he can show it to us," and then he breaks it like that. I mean, I think he paid for it. I mean, it has to, right? It's somebody else's collection. I don't know, or maybe he just signed it and then you put it on eBay and make so much money because it's Harrison Ford figure that he broke.
Mhm.
You know, and make some money there. So, yeah, I think we have a split decision on this one. I think some of them think it's not gonna happen, or some of us think it will happen at one point. I still have hope that it's gonna happen. But honestly, you know, we just have to wait and see, man.
You never know.
You never know. All right, so this is another one that I want to bring this here. So this one for me was more like a FOMO thing, or not FOMO, like hype, because you know I remember when we saw this from Hot Toys, we got Toys Era doing it. We got the other third-party company, which I don't remember the name, doing it as well. Just Inc. did one, and then Hot Toys was like, you know what? Seems to be some love for this figure. Let me just kind of like, you know, tease it and see the reaction. So I'm gonna start with Anthony on this one. So, what do you think? Do you think this is really gonna happen, or was just kind of like to put that picture there so we can have those other stores like the third-party companies to slow down in their production or maybe their sales? I don't know. What do you think?
I think this is definitely coming. They've shown it off way too many times. I mean, they first showed it off 3-4 years ago, and then it was dead silent. But then they showed it off like 5 times already this year. You know, they put out the pictures. They showed them off at all the cons and events. I don't think it's more of a flex. I think it's more of, you know, what's going on with Spider-Man being, you know, relevant again, you know, with the last movie and with them creating all the villains. This is a perfect opportunity to just actually bring this out now and to combat, you know, we've got three like third-party figures of this now. So I think they're going to do it. I really think they're going to do it. And can you imagine having, you know, all the rogues gallery of Spider-Man, you know, in one awesome display? So now's the time to do it if they're going to do it. So yeah, I think it's coming.
I guess the question to everyone, maybe you can think about this later, is how soon do we think it's gonna happen? So let me move on with Desi, and then we just ask everyone, how soon do you think it's gonna happen? Is it possible we're gonna see this guy?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think we're definitely gonna get this guy, especially now with all the third party and unlicensed companies coming at it. Hot Toys is definitely going to put one out. That's my guess, anyways. Can't wait to see it. The production piece. I'm curious. Are they actually going to make those rotors rotate? You know, is it going to be all lit up? What's the articulation going to be like? I'm interested. And yeah, I think it's coming.
I honestly think so too. Will, what do you think? Is this coming very, very soon? Or
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, like I think so for sure. I'm with Anthony and Desi on this one. I do think they've teased this too many times. They can't go back on it now. I feel like it's, you know, you can't keep showing it if you're not going to release it, right? Like it, you know, I think they have plans for this one clearly. I think they probably saw the Jazz Inc. and other third-party ones out there, and it's kind of like classic Loki. They're like, there's money to be made here, and if they have a realistic or, you know, idea that they can make something that's going to be functional and not fall apart, and that people are actually going to pay $400 for it, right? And I think there'll be enough people that probably will. There'll probably be that instant sticker shock that people first get when they see it's $425 or something like that. But I think there'll be enough people that have wanted this for long enough, and it looks really good, man. So hopefully they use like real leather or something. That'd be cool. That would drive the price up too. So, but I do think this is coming. Who knows when, man? They haven't even put Andrew up yet. So, I mean, it's, that's something for sure that I would have thought would have been up by now, and it hasn't been. So, man, it's so hard to tell. But I think for sure this Vulture is coming, if not by the end of the year, maybe early next year, I would think. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident this one will be made. I'd be pretty surprised, if not shocked, honestly, if it wasn't.
Something keeps disappearing. Joao, do you think this? Okay, how soon do you think this is going to happen? And if it does, do you think we're going to have the Michael Keaton head sculpt?
How soon? I don't have any idea. They teased it first, then they are taking it everywhere. They show it on the summer showcase. They're showing on San Diego Comic-Con. But again, this one at least they teased, right? But they also teased us the N1 Starfighter, and they went with it everywhere, and there is no any news about that. And then they back again. If I think was in this in San Diego, I'm not sure, but I know in Japan, in the event they are having there now, they showed again the TIE Fighter, and the TIE Fighter was showed back in 2016 in San Diego Comic-Con. Wow. So they tease these things, and with Hot Toys we never know, because when they tease something doesn't mean they are going to do. But then the second DeLorean that no one is expecting, they just announce it and put it on pre-order out of nowhere. So everything is very unpredictable, So I really can tell if this year, next year, I think they should catch the time for not letting those third parties win too much momentum when they go to sell, so they can catch those pre-orders. Because truth to be told, some people, they just don't want to wait, and they just go with the third party, like happened with Doc Ock and Green Goblin. So I think Hot Toys would be smart for them to put that pre-order up before those releases come out, because who knows if those third parties, there are two of them, and one of them at least is good enough for your collection. About the Michael Keaton head sculpt, I think it will come, but again, it depends as well with what they are intending to do with the Batman. I don't know if the Batman, the DX09, they are going to do with any Keaton head sculpt. That's another figure that they showed with the diorama and everything, and until now there is no news about that. And we are all waiting for Batman Day, but they show us a tactical suit that no one, I think, wants. But
everyone loves it.
Behind Batman, and they just neglect that one.
I know. But we're gonna jump on that one next. Lyle.
Yep.
So Vulture was teased, I guess, because Hot Toys saw so many people, so many other companies doing it. They saw Just Ink doing it, third-party companies doing it, and they said, you know what? We already have the prototype. Let's show it. Let's just tease it for now and create the hype for collectors. And funny enough, a lot of people were actually not ordering from Toys R Us or the other company, and some of them said in the groups that they were canceling their orders because Hot Toys. Now, do you think this is gonna happen for real? And if it does, do you think it's gonna come with the Michael Keaton's head sculpt?
Joel brings up a very interesting point. The simple fact is they've showed us, as always, they've showed us so many different figures, so many different, they've prototypes of stuff that we haven't. Hell, they showed us a prototype of the Batmobile. Did we get that yet? Nope.
Exactly.
It's basically something that they've actually showed us for the longest time. You know what I mean? We've seen these prototypes for these, certain figures that we haven't received yet, at all. In one Starfighter, yes. You know what I mean? Everything that we've actually seen just to kind of counteract or just draw attention, because they know that other IPs were doing it. Other companies were doing it. And then they showed this. I believe it when I see it, but as of right now, I don't believe that they're going to do it, in my opinion. I really don't, because they would have basically capitalized on it when the hype was there at that point. Now, the hype was there with these third-party companies because they're doing it. You already have one. I have 3 of them sitting here from Jazz Inc. You know what I mean? With one that I have to give away, or, that's up for, a raffle. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they were going to do this, my thinking is They're looking at the simple fact that there's already a ton of them out. Can they capitalize on this? Will they win in the end? Will they sell them, or are they just going to occupy space? Or is it just a lost cause? Because there's so many people dropping this piece. There are so many people. There's other companies, or the other. I would think it was Toys R Us that was doing it. Was it Toys R Us or
Toys R Us?
Toys R Us and Eternal Toys.
Yeah, Eternal. So basically, they're doing it, and they actually put out an update that they were going to lengthen or
expand the wings.
Expand the wings.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, these companies are doing these things. It's like, if you're going to do it while it's hot, while the iron's hot. Get it out there while you can. I just, in my opinion, it might be unpopular. I just don't think they're going to do it. I don't, because they too many figures that they've shown us, and we haven't gotten any. And the Batman was hot. It's hot right now, like still hot, but they aren't doing it. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I believe in when I see it type of situation.
So let me ask you, Lael, you got the Vulture from Jazz Inc.
Mm-hmm.
You wanting that piece? Would you pre-order the one from Hot Toys, or are you happy enough with the one?
I'm happy enough with the one that I got. I'm definitely happy enough with the one that I have, because it serves its purpose. Just like I'm not actually getting Doc Ock, just like I'm not actually getting the Green Goblin. I already have iterations of those, and they serve their purpose in my display. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. I'm not going to spend money on something that's already been done at this point. You know what I mean? So again, it might be a superior product, but for me, I have what I need, and it serves its purpose for what I want. I wouldn't, I'm not going to basically take or use the Michael Keaton head sculpt on his figure, because he wasn't flying around without the helmet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, I'm just not going to do that. It's not going to make sense for me. So I really, at this particular point, don't care, but if they release it and everybody wants it, then I'm happy for them. But that's if they do it. Plain and simple.
That's a good point. Costa, final word on this Vulture. Mixed feelings on the panel. We think it's gonna happen. Some of us may think that it's gonna be a push up. It's gonna be push off, like longer time maybe. What do you think? Do you think this is happening very soon, or do you think this was just a move from Hot Toys to kind of say to the other companies, "Hey, here's Papi"?
Here's Bobby.
It's happening. By the end of the year, Keaton head sculpt. I'm done.
By the end of the year?
What else can I mean, like, I agree with Mafia. I agree with Will. Desi, Joao, Lael. Not on this one, but other ones.
You know what? Somebody mentioned on the chat that Q4 is coming. And yes, it is coming. It's going to be imminent. So usually, and this is how I see it, last year Q4 was very busy. Very, very busy. But with everything that has been happening right now, and maybe I'm going to transition to the next topic on this one. So how much, for example, companies like InArt and other third-party companies put pressure on Hot Toys? Meaning, is Hot Toys now, with all this competition per se, I mean, really, they're still new. We don't have a figure yet from InArt, so just to put that disclaimer out there, how much pressure do you think you put on them? Because the way I see it is, for example, InArt did Hot Toys did the Pennywise, right? InArt did the Pennywise. Now, if Hot Toys would have done a prototype of Pennywise and the prototype of InArt, you can see the difference, right? It's a big difference. The InArt is way more accurate. Now, we got the final product from Pennywise. So now when InArt releases their piece, you can see a clear difference on the final products on both, only if InArt keeps the same likeness. But I'm going to start randomly here. So I'm going to start with Will in the middle. So do you think Hot Toys has pressure from these companies for them to do actually better and try to deliver to the customers faster in terms of like delivering and making the final runs as soon as possible?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I do feel like they have to be paying attention, right? I do feel like they're definitely watching, because I think any company in any business, you're probably carefully scouting the competition at any point, right? So I think they were, even before InArt came along, I'm sure they were looking at 3-0 and Star Ace and all the other figure companies that were making good third-party figures like you guys were talking about, right? So that was definitely a thing. They're always going to be scouting the competition. But now, based on prototypes, they have some serious competition, right? So I do think they're paying attention to this. Are they putting pressure on them? Maybe. I don't know. I think Hot Toys is probably watching carefully, but not feeling like they have to completely adapt or overhaul anything yet, right? Until InArt starts getting, a lot of sales under their belt, and a lot of products, and a lot of good, public perception from collectors, and getting people to actually switch over to InArt figures. And also until InArt starts getting US licenses, because until they start getting global licenses where they can sell things maybe on Sideshow or otherwise, where they can make a dent in what Hot Toys is actually doing and going for, then I think then they'll change. Then they'll be reactive instead of proactive. Hot Toys doesn't always come across as proactive, right? They're kind of like more reactive, I feel like. So, at least that's how they come across, because they don't communicate. So maybe they are proactive, we just don't know it, right? But I would say they're paying attention. Third party, maybe. I don't know. I think they're definitely paying attention to what third party is doing, but I don't think they feel necessarily huge pressure from third party. I think they kind of just like, oh, that was a figure. I think they almost use third party as kind of like their unofficial testing ground. They're kind of like, oh, they made a Vulture and people kind of liked it. We can make a better one, right? And that's what they do. So I think insofar as they pay attention to third party and as the experimental sort of guinea pig for the community, I don't think they take them that seriously. I don't think they, because a lot of times they don't come anywhere close to Hot Toys. I mean, like sometimes they do, but more often than not, they don't. So I would say, I would say they pay attention and maybe a little bit of pressure, but I don't think Hot Toys is really like feeling the pressure yet. I don't think they're, and they have Star Wars and Marvel. So, and they're the king until someone knocks them off. I mean, it's great to have Warner Bros. Properties like Lord of the Rings and Dune and, and all the other stuff like It and, and Game of Thrones and stuff, but that's not Star Wars and Marvel. So that's, until InArt gets global licenses and starts releasing products that are really good and grabbing like the general public, because most people shop on Sideshow, they probably don't even watch these live streams, right? So they might not even know who InArt is. So they think Hot Toys are Sideshow. So those are the type of people that are not looking at InArt really right now. So, InArt's going to have to do more, I think, to grab people in that way. So I think they're watching, but I don't think they feel a lot of pressure yet, personally.
It's a good point, and I'm going to go with Costa on this one. So the way I see this is that, with these companies coming into place, like perfect example was what happened with Vulture, right? That's why we can spend some time talking about it. Just Inc. did the Vulture version of it, right? Nose Hair Sculpt, I think was their very first 6-scale figure. But then, Hot Toys probably saw that people were eager to get it. They were doing pre-orders, and then third-party companies came into place, and Hot Toys said, you know what? It's too much cake for these people. Let me just get a piece. This is what I'm going to offer you guys. This is what we got. And obviously, if you think about getting a figure from Hot Toys, licensed company, it's a no-brainer, right? You're going to go with it. So what do you think? It is pressure by Hot Toys now to make sure that anything that they do moving forward is good, so they don't lose those customers?
I'm in the same boat with Will. Even from the beginning, I didn't think Hot Toys was feeling the pressure. I feel when InArt did show some prototypes, you did see some things come out that you would have thought that Hot Toys was trying to, show off after InArt showed their prototypes. But part of me thinks that was like a coincidence. Like Will said, until they get the until someone wrestles the Star Wars and Marvel license from them, I don't think Hot Toys is sweating anything. I do agree that they're definitely keeping an eye on things and are taking note on how we react to how InArt reveals their prototypes, how InArt is communicating with us. I think they're keeping tabs on that, but I do not think that they're really sweating anything. And the Warner Brothers titles, they don't have every Warner Brothers title. They have some of the DC, Lord of the Rings. I'm kind of curious to see what the Harry Potter figure looks like, because I'm sure it's a gajillion times better than Star Ace's Harry Potter figures. although there are a couple of gems in there for them, which is saying a lot. But yeah, I don't think Hot Toys is sweating it. And the whole Vulture thing, yeah, they just want to get in on the game. They have the prototype already. It's not really much that they have to do.
Yeah,
you know, get the
only
prototype,
the new head sculpt.
show it. Yeah, do the head sculpt. And if they have Keaton's license for his likeness, you know, hopefully we'll see an '89 Batman. For those who didn't get it, because I'd like to have another one. But yeah, they're not sweating it. I'm going to end it there. They're not sweating it.
Do you concur, Mr. Lyle? According to the lawyer, to your lawyer, do you concur? Page 5.
Anybody taking minutes?
Yeah, please take the minutes. This is very important.
Got a large.
Yeah, just trying to make sure that I'm saying the right shit on here. You know what? It's kind of hard. They might not be sweating it, bro, but they're watching closely, because if they weren't, because we can perceive that they're not sweating it. But for instance, So Toys puts out a classic suit Loki. They follow up and they release one as well. InArt basically puts out, or not InArt, but Jazz Inc. actually puts out the Vulture. Now, mind you, Sideshow had a chance, or Hot Toys had a chance to do it, because they showed us the first prototype of that item years ago. Jazz Inc. does it, and then automatically other companies follow suit, and then Hot Toys decides to put their, they throw their hat in the ring to do so as well. So when we say that they don't, just like, again, Jazz Inc., Batmobile. Hot Toys all of a sudden, Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't released theirs yet. They haven't revealed it. There was no even pre-order for it. They just showed us that picture, and that was it. So we can say that they're not really worried about it. And, again, but money's money. Who's not going to worry about money in the end? If you want to basically capitalize, man, you're going to try to drop it when it's hot and do what you can while it's there. For some reason, they aren't taking advantage of it, but they are watching close, because there are certain IPs, certain, things that they want, that they have within their possession to release. They just haven't done it. When they see other people going, because they know there's a market for it. There's people out there that want it, but they're not doing it. I don't understand why. If you're sweating it, but you're not taking advantage of it. That's what I don't get. But yeah, I do think that they might not be as worried, but they are like, what? Look, we can't count them out. You don't count out the underdog, bro. Straight up, you don't, because they'll release some heat, and you'll be like, damn, we should have did it. You know what I mean? So I think they are, as much as we don't think they're worried about it. I think they do. There are some flags there. They're like, yeah, we got to flag this. Like when you get an email, let's flag that email so we can go back and take a look at it later on to see if there's progression in that case or whatever it might be. Just like your lawyer. But I'm just saying, I think they are. I think they're watching as much as they can. You know what I mean? They are watching. They're keeping a close eye to see if there's progression and if there's movement. You know what I mean? So Toys released that classic suit Loki. Hot Toys, we still haven't gotten. I mean, it's pre-ordered. It's still up for pre-order.
Right.
That one hasn't released yet. By the time it released, So-So's not going to care, because they're getting their money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Selling. Yeah, that's true.
So,
well, it could work in two ways, right?
Either
people don't buy it because they say, you know what, Hot Toys is going to come out with a better version. So let's wait for it. And let's be honest, the Hot Toys version looks pretty cool. I personally like the Soso Toy ones. I was very impressed.
It's nice.
Very, very impressed. So let me move on to Desi on this one. Desi, I think we spoke about this many times about Hot Toys and these companies coming into place to put in some pressure, quote unquote, like these third-party companies, InArt, potentially J&D, as Will said in one of his shows, that may be coming into the 1/6. Is this at the end might work in our collector's favor, because Hot Toys, which is the king of the collecting right now, or the figures, whatever, they might get better in doing their figures, besides the 2.0s. But what do you think? Do you think there's pressure on Hot Toys now?
Absolutely. There absolutely is pressure. Just maybe not from a revenue perspective. If they have pressure from a revenue perspective, it's not because of the third parties. I think the third party pressure. I mean, look at the DeLorean. Wasn't Jazz Inc. going to do a DeLorean, and all of a sudden he's surprised because Hot Toys came out of nowhere? So there's different reasons. One is just, hey, they want to flex their muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, if everybody else is doing it, look what we can do. Here's a prototype.
Yep.
That's already pressure, right? And then you've got the licensing pressure. Oh, well, crap. If we don't put out another Back to the Future DeLorean and figures, we're going to lose the license to somebody else. So there's pressure comes in different ways, and I think they're definitely feeling it, at least in those two ways that I just mentioned. So, yeah.
It's going to be funny games. Anthony, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I may have fixed the problem. We're gonna find out. This is what. Remember what was happening Saturday night? You guys are on so my
hijacked your show for a few minutes,
dude. I know. Well, my for some reason my hardware, the software pops up and checks for updates and then errors out, and then I can't hear and I got to reload everything. But there was a box that says check for updates, and I unchecked that. So let's see what happens if I cut out. But
Before you start your point, I want to say a quick shout out to P-Rock. Congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers, my friend. To many more. Just wanted to acknowledge that. All right, you can go with your point, sir. What do you think is pressure?
Okay. So, how much InArt and other third-party companies put pressure on Hot Toys? Well, listen, I think Hot Toys has no pressure. I mean, they're on cloud 9, man. I mean, the only pressure that they get is from Disney. And the demand, right? Because I really feel like Disney's got their boot on their neck because they have to just mass produce, right? Now, my thing though with this is that it's kind of like what Leo was saying. They have to be aware, right? Because that's just a smart person in any sense of the word, right? Like, if you're not paying attention to competition, aka your enemies, because that's what it is, you know what I mean? They'll get you in your sleep, right? So you have to be aware of what's happening. Now, again, they're not in any problems, right? They have the big licenses, right? I think InArts is great. It may make Hot Toys, pause for a moment and say, okay, well, we have some new players in the field. We're surely not in any danger. There's no threat to us, but if you're the only popular manufacturer, I'm not saying that you become lazy, but I would say like maybe Hot Toys becomes complacent, because they're like, well, there's nobody, this is our territory, so there may be a little bit of that going on where they're like, okay, well, maybe let's show them a little bit of good faith. We'll do some innovations here and there, kind of posting things, right? Like the Batman update. That's I think a direct thing because of InArt, right? Now they don't talk to us, right? Hot Toys doesn't communicate in that sense, but they're showing they're somewhat of adapting to their environment. But they're no problem. They're not going anywhere. The only threat to Hot Toys is the consumers. Really, because if we're not buying their products, if we're not pre-ing their, that's the danger, right? Fuck the other companies. It's all about their customers. If the customers aren't paying, you're going to go under.
That's a very fair point. But I actually have a comment on that. But I want to go with Joao. I don't know if he's still alive. Joao?
What?
No, he's.
Can you listen to me?
We can listen to you.
Oh, fuck this melon. Let's
Why melon?
Jeez, made me laugh when I saw your comment.
Oh my God.
StreamYard works so well. Why you need to come with this technology?
Joel's fucking hilarious.
Dude.
Now, let me tell you one thing. No, talking about social toys.
On that one? Just kidding.
No, talking about social toys. I don't know if any of you have or not the classic look. It's really very good.
It is.
And even the head sculpt, the way they did the paint, and the likeness is really there. But yeah, I don't think I kind of agree about the third parties, and I review so many of them. I think some do have the quality, and okay, you pay what you pay, not as much as Hot Toys, but sometimes you have good quality over there. But I don't think it's something that Hot Toys feels too much pressure about them. But if you talk about InArt, I think the games change a bit over there, because they are seeing that this new player coming, introducing stuff that probably Hot Toys already tried before, but maybe don't want to risk at this moment with magnets and so on. But I think Hot Toys are watching closely what InArt is doing, and of course it's a given that, let's say for example the Pennywise, Hot Toys already did theirs, right? Most probably InArt have the Hot Toys one in hands, and they learn from that what they can improve from there, and of course they will do a better one. But when they go in head-to-head competition like the Batman that they are both doing, then there's where we can see what is the gap between the two companies and what one can deliver better than the other. I think that will be that's where the real test is going to be. It's when we'll see the two Batmans head to head, because they are both in production at this moment, and no company has advantage onto another. There is no models out, so they can compete each other, and then we can see. I still think that InArt will be a bit more premium than Hot Toys. They are trying to distance a bit from them, but yeah, we will not compare the DX11 Joker with the InArt Joker, because we are talking a figure of years ago, right? So I think it will be fair when we have the two Batmans together, and then we can check.
Can I chime in on Joel's point there real quick? Is that even with Pennywise, like you would think Pennywise is new, right? Because it is new. It's about almost a year ago. You and Will had your whole big event, which was awesome.
January, right? January.
Yeah, so we're getting there, right? So it's not an old figure, but at this point, their sales figures are out. Pennywise is done. They've moved on, right? So I don't think they care about figures like that. Like Joel's saying, like Batman's going to be, there's nothing to compare, right? They're both going to come out maybe, roughly around the same time. It's not like, because Joel's right. I guarantee you they have multiple Hot Toy figures in the InArt studio. You'd be a fool to think otherwise. Sure. That's what all the third parties guys do too. Definitely. And another thing is, so many people in that industry, they talk amongst themselves. They'll share information, which was probably not legal, but there's all this backhanded stuff going on. They'll take pictures of the molds, the castings, whatever's, they share it, and all of a sudden you're like, look at all these knockoffs coming out. So it's like they always are going to look at the best product, and right now the best product is Hot Toys. So Batman's are going to be interesting, dude. I agree with Joel on that one. Like they're both going to come out, and we're going to just, we're going to be able to compare their own merits, individually. Right. So, right.
But one thing I want to make, and you guys, anyone can jump in on this one. So, competition is always good, because not only, for the market, perspective, for collectors, right? You have more options to buy certain figures. Also, let's don't forget that InArt right now has limited licenses, right? So that right now, Hot Toys has the advantage. There's no secret. They do have the advantage right now. But figures that they can make a difference, like Batman, for example, let's say Pennywise, or any other figure that was already done or is going to be done by Hot Toys, that could be a game changer. Because if InArt delivers in terms of quality, likeness, and all that, and they fulfill the expectation of the consumers, then Hot Toys might rethink how they do things. Because let's be fair, right now InArt is offering you InArt. It's offering you rooted hair for figures, and it's really well done, right? Based on what we've seen so far. Hot Toys doesn't do rooted hair at all, because I don't know, maybe they don't feel comfortable. They feel like sculpted hair is better. Me personally, I rather have a sculpted, but when I saw the InArt Joker with the rooted hair, I was like, damn, this thing looks amazing. So I think competition is going to help Hot Toys to be a bit better, and I think as someone, you guys mentioned, I think it was Joao or someone mentioned in the chat, in the panel, that Hot Toys is more reactive, to it. So it's not like, oh, Desi, you said it, that Hot Toys is more, let's see what they do, and then I'll do something to counterattack, that's,
well, yeah, because
that's
they have
what
the
I see.
resources. They have the resources. They have the reputation. It's almost like the other
flex.
companies. Yeah, they're like the other companies are like little flies,
Right.
you know, around them. And you know, InArt might be a bigger fly, but they're all still flies right now. I mean, the only way it's going to really affect anything is when the two major things that Hot Toys has. They have never mind the reputation, but they have volume. InArt's is never going to put out that type of volume for their figures. It's just never going to happen, you know.
And the licenses, the global licenses.
Yep, and the licenses. They've got Star Wars. They've got Marvel.
But if they get the licenses, what happened? If they
Well, they would cross that bridge, you know. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe they do, and they get premium and high-end Star Wars figures that are only an edition size of like 2,000, right? You know that. So we have to see, like, over the years, maybe if InArt can do that. But then what happens? Then does InArt turn into a mass-produced, you know, figure company? Then they're going to lose their specialty, right? That they're supposed to be, you know, a very high-end collectible, higher than Hot. You see what I mean? So I don't think there's a threat really right now.
It's kind of like, and I kind of agree with Anthony saying, like, with the fly thing, like, because the example I always think of, like, I used to work at a local news station, right? And it was the biggest news station in the area. And, like, you know, they would always look at the numbers of other news stations in terms of viewers, right? But ours was always way higher, but they were monitoring it. They were like, okay, this news station was at 15% of the viewers locally, right? Last month they were at 13, right? But we're at 80, right? So we're crushing them, but we're monitoring it. So it's like one of those situations. That's kind of how I view this, right? I think that InArt is picking up traction, but it all depends on these releases, right? Hot Toys is monitoring it. Like Anthony said, they're like a fly. They're on their radar, right? They're showing up on the radar, but they're not quite putting pressure on them yet, because Hot Toys is like mass producing, like everyone's been saying. They're producing a lot of volume right now. It just appears, right? Everything's sitting. Maybe they're going to start doing less, at least in North America, but I mean, maybe that would change a little bit. The only thing we've seen that would possibly be slight, I guess, like the Wolverine has a leather jacket, right? Other than that, we've not really seen premium materials, right? I mean, that's like Hot Toys has done pretty much one figure that's been different than what they normally do. And, you know, like Darth Vader, the DX is not real leather, right? Like if that were the case, then I'd say, okay, maybe InArt's having more. I think they're watching and they're going to see how the market reacts to InArt in terms of like what people are willing to pay. The bad thing might be like Hot Toys is like, well, shit, they can call themselves premium, but we are the premium, right? Mm-hmm. And we can charge more, right? That could be one thing that happens, unfortunately.
That is happening.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like
that's exactly happening.
Yeah, I mean, like they're like, okay, you're going to pay $500 for a Gandalf from a company that's never released something. As great as that proto is, we can charge $400 for Toby. Like it's, you know, that's like what they're going to, yeah, right? That's what they're going to do.
Brother.
Yeah,
$500 for
but I mean,
Spider-Man.
$300 just for Toby without the Sandman base. So I mean, it's like, you know,
I
get inflation, but they're also monitoring that.
Right, but they have to have justification for the price increase. They cannot just say, "Oh, I'm gonna charge you $400 for a Stormtrooper."
No, they can. They can, dude, because that's how Howard rolls, man. Like legit. Like I feel like okay, inflation's there, like Will said. That's just known throughout the world right now. That's just a small percentage, though. I honestly feel like we're getting spike tax from Howard. I'm serious because of that. He's like, oh, you're gonna buy that? Well, then we can charge a little bit more because you're still gonna buy from us. And we handed him the keys on that one.
I think honestly, like right now, you know, InArt is betting on that Joker because it's not just about that Joker release. It's about the simple fact that they're betting on quality. If people are enticed by that quality, then they know they're going to gain attention at that point. People see that figure, they're going to be like, okay, all right, this is spectacular. This is an amazing piece. I want to see what you do next. On top of that, what's going to happen is people get that Joker in their hands. People who didn't pre-order Gandalf or didn't actually pre-order Pennywise, even though, you know, it might be slightly late for them to get it, even though they can get through certain resellers, they're going to go after those pieces because they see the quality of that. That gains attention, pulls traction. Okay, InArt's, what you going to do next? We still got that Wonder Woman. We still got, you know, the Batman, both Batman iterations. And on top of that, what I think is going to take them over top is the simple fact that they are releasing not Heath Ledger, the what is his name? King Phoenix Joker. Yeah. So they're going to do that. So again, they're betting on the quality of the work, the attention that they Yeah, they may not. They're looking at what InArts is looking at is okay, long term down the road. We're not trying to. Of course, they're just a fly on the window right now in Hot Toys' view. In a sense, Hot Toys is still monitoring. InArts is looking at long term. So we may not have these licenses now, but this is why we're working. We're doing the same thing that Hot Toys did when they started. We're doing the same thing that any other company did. We're going to fight, and we got to work. We know we got to put in work, but while we're putting in this work to get these licenses, we're going to also put in work to make sure that you get quality material, quality pieces. So they're, they already know that right now there's work to be done, that Hot Toys is sitting at the top of the mountain. They're just throwing in their hat saying it's competition. We want to be that competition. We know we got to work for it, but we're going to work hard as hell to get to that point. So it's just not counting out the underdog, because again, we know that they're giving us that joker and everybody's anticipating that joker. Once they get that, that's going to be the defining moment and what we see in the future, or the future for these pieces. But at the same time, again, we know that Hot Toys has been in the game long enough. We know that basically they do give us pieces. Hell, some of my most anticipated figures of all time are coming from this company. You know what I mean? Seriously right now. And I can't wait to get them. But at the same time, I'm being mindful because there are other companies out there that are still giving us work. They're still giving us pieces, things that we want and we may have interest in. And I'm pretty sure Hot Toys is looking at that and they understand that. Like, even though they're at the top of the mountain, there's money to be made, and there are missed opportunities that they probably see and said, damn, we should have did this, but okay, it's too late. Let's just continue on doing this. So
no, it's a good point. And in terms of pricing, like Mafia said, right? They're gonna start increasing the prices. They've done it so far slightly, but also let's take into account what else they're putting into that figure. They're giving us dioramas. They're giving us something a little bit different than the normal, right? Years ago, we were talking about figures that with the boring bases, like the same plain bases. Now, what they're doing now, giving us diorama. Think about the Mark V. It was three times, you got the original release, then you got a 2.0 with a normal base, and then you got the 3.0 with a even nicer base. 3.0. So, obviously probably a bit more pricey. But look at this comment here.
Bitches.
I know. The movie my exit point, raising prices but still using the same material is a huge no. So everything has to be correspondent to each other. If you're going to raise the prices, make sure you also give us a quality in it. Give us real leather, give us rooted hair, give us, die-cast accessories, something that is more quality so you can justify increasing the prices, not just because there's an InArt in town making, charging this much of for figures. And before we continue, I want to give a shout out to the Novi 2 in the house. He said that the RD magnet happening with Hot Toys can currently be seen on diecast Ironmans, but it's understandable if you don't collect it. How will be missed. One concern I have, and shout out to the Novi to stopping by, is InArt is using magnets on the joints and on the base itself, right? How durable that's gonna be, right? Right now we know
how long would that
how
last?
long it will last.
Yeah.
Technically, you shouldn't have a problem for a long time, but those are like more, I don't know, industrial magnets that you use, right? But this is tailored especially for a particular figure. So we don't know that. We don't know what's gonna happen, right? Is it gonna be durable? How much weight can the base, when you pose your figure, because everything is going to be magnetic according to what they said, is it going to last long? Is it going to be durable? Can you do really good poses and make sure it's going to stay there? How will we know?
Magnets don't really degrade. Other than, if it was glued in, maybe, right? Maybe the glue may loosen over time or something, but a magnet will be, I don't think there'll be an issue with those, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's something like 1% in 5.
Yeah, it's a small amount.
Yeah, that's what Carlos was saying.
They degrade, but it's very small.
Yeah, minimal. So I think that would be fine. I do want to say though, I think all of us on this panel have at least one Iron Man figure, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have two.
Yeah, because I know Adobe was like
I do
saying
not.
that it's easy to miss the innovations if you don't collect Iron Man. I'm like, I think I have like 4 Iron Man. So like,
but he's right though, right? Like if you look like what Bob Dylan's saying, like from the first die-cast Iron Man to now, that innovation they have been perfecting
sure
their Iron Man die-casts, right? The evolution of sorts,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Which I get. Like if people don't collect them, it's hard to just see
But,
that evolution that they've been
because
doing.
Iron Man is their cash cow and pretty much always will be, right? Like for any reasonable amount of time moving forward. But I do think InArt, it's not necessarily innovative that they're releasing figures with rooted hair, but it's just like progressive in the sense that we're getting good rooted hair from protos at least and real leather and stuff. Yeah, that happens in custom work, but as far as like licensed sort of mass release, right? That's not something we've really been used to. Like, I mean,
but I can see the Nobi point, because it's like a rooted hair doesn't require as much research and development than.
Well, if you ask Hot Toys, it does, because they don't really do it well.
Because all the intricacy of the pieces on Iron Man, of course, you are talking about rooted hair, but rooted hair has to do with I think Hot Toys, they tried it for sure, but they are not confident that the hair will maintain the quality over the years. Because
right?
There are lots of rooted hair, and I think Win Studios may have the advantage on that because of the statues they use with the real hair. They have probably tried over and over again which one is the best solution. But I can tell you that, for example, the figures I have with rooted hair, with the time the hair will dry, and you need to have that hair more with some oil application, some water-based oil, so the hair will look good. Because if not, the hair will dry and doesn't look as natural. But I think InArt got that nailed by now. I think they are using some kind of they're using
like a different texture of hair with theirs. And here's the thing: is like, I mean, for instance, my most anticipated figure from InArts, it's not the Joker, it's Wonder Woman. And
I thought it was Pennywise.
Wonder Woman.
Nope.
It is.
And
it is.
No, it's not. So here's the thing. My thing is, how long has it taken? And again, no slight against Hot Toys, because they've given us some phenomenal head sculpts. I mean, what we're basically, I mean, I say, one of the most impressive head sculpts I got is Shuri, from Black Panther. It's her. That's Letitia
amazing
Wright
sculpt
all day, every day. You know what I mean? So they've given us some amazing head sculpts. Some of the older figures that we have, whether it's, Obi-Wan Kenobi, whether it's, for instance, we got Count Dooku. Those figures, yes, they've given us amazing figures. But for some reason, it's taken them so long to even come close to a likeness of Gal Gadot. The closest that they've actually come was with the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. Now, InArts has already showed their hand with their statues and what they can do with their figures, with those statues pieces, and especially when it comes to Wonder Woman. I think they're going to nail that. They're going to knock it out the park. And I just think it's space for it, and it's an anticipation there, and that's what they're voting on. Now, we talk about like the magnets and stuff like that. Again, when you get that Joker figure in, Dante, we were talking about that. My thing is, how well will the joints hold if you're not using a crotch grabber or a waist, grabber? How long would those knees last just using the magnets? That's what I want to know. Is it
that's the question?
Yes. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to know, because if you're not and you're saying that this is technology, then I hope you can back that up with those joints. You know what I mean? Because we already know those certain bodies.
Give me the Joker like this.
They have to be. They have to be ratcheted. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm worried about a lot, but I'm not worried about the magnets. The magnets will probably hold. It's
easy. The joints.
It's the joints. Everyone's gonna look like Neo, or like Michael Jackson, and really,
But you know what to make up for that though with the joints though, what might not be a problem for me if Desi gives me a
it all comes back. It's all perfectly plugged.
So we're gonna see the inner figures with some exoskeleton on outside, so you can hold the weight.
Yeah, right. That may be a thing, man. Oh,
maybe, no, but you know what? You know, I think John mentioned on, you know, in I think it was Will's show. He mentioned on Sunday, I believe, about the bodies and articulation, that it's gonna be depending on the character, right? So
Sure.
what does that mean? The Joker, of course, is not Spider-Man, so don't expect to have articulation like Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's gonna be more museum, more, you know, walking pose or something like minor, nothing like super like dynamic, you know. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm paying this much money on a figure, you know, why do I have to have limitations on the articulation? I mean, of course, not to say that I'm gonna do like a Van Damme split or anything like that, but you would expect to have some articulation so you can play around with the figure. Remember, there are photographers out there that wants to do crazy poses just because of a figure that normally don't do dynamic stuff.
Yeah, but we can't even do that with half our Hot Toys either.
That's true. That's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just even fucking Spider-Mans. Some of them you'll just rip the suit.
Yeah, the creasing.
You know, yeah, you'll crease or you'll rip, or like, you know, a heavy infantry Mando is just an example because he's a little bit bigger. But there's even Jango Fett, man. Jango
Even
Fett
Mando.
is fat, bro.
Mando with the fat suit.
Yeah, it's like, so I get like,
Man,
okay,
the DX-19. You can't move that.
yeah. So I never got that. I never got that argument, right? Where people are like, well, we're not gonna be able to pose them like we want to, and I'm like, well, I can't pose my Hot Toys how I want to. So, you know, that's not really a dig at InArt, in my opinion, you know, but
right.
But what you were saying though, which brings up a point of like the innovation of stuff, right? How InArt might be innovating, right? And, you know, doing a much better job or you know, at rooted hair or things like that. Let's not forget that, I mean, I think since Sylvie or Loki sometime last year, Hot Toys has been innovating in their sculpted hair department.
I cannot wait for that. That's so
It's true. Look at Valkyrie, for example. Look how cool that has got. I honestly thought it was rooted hair when I saw it. So either they're taking their time to do things right, and without, I guess, sacrificing too much in resources by doing rooted hair, because you need a whole department capable of doing really good rooted hair, especially if you're gonna, you know, charge those prices.
Yeah, and now the sculpted though. Look at all these that we saw.
Yeah,
like over the past year, every figure that's come out with a head sculpt, I'm like, wow, you guys are really you're working towards making awesome sculpted hair. And don't forget, man, I know it sounds early now because we're in 2022, but if we were to fast forward to 2023, 2024, dude, Hot Toys is super innovating too with everything going USB. Like, we don't see it much right now because we don't have much, but wait a couple years, like all these figures coming out, so they're doing, you know, they are still always evolving and making things better. So it's hard to discount them. Like I said, back to your previous, I was just thinking about that, about, you know, is anybody really a threat to them? Like, no.
Even with,
as long as
even with the
fresh.
come, you know, stuff that we see coming. I mean, as much as people, again, I already know we don't have to dip down that well, but I know people don't like that Reva figure. But the head sculpt's on point. You know what I mean?
That's one of the best figures I've seen.
That's
this
one
year.
of the best head sculpts. Like, it's an amazing head sculpt on that figure. You know what I mean? When we're looking at what they have, even like the head sculpt, you know, for Valkyrie, I think it's amazing. You know what I mean? So again, we're seeing the innovation with these sculpts, but I think what's pushing that innovation is the competition that's out there, because they see people gravitating towards companies that could. I mean, we're not just looking at InArt, so we got to look at Queen Studios and what they've been able to do and what they have in their, you know, in their department. You know what I mean? So again, that is push, and that's the best part about this collecting community. I mean, what's going on in the community right now, and especially in the collecting community, is the simple fact that we are seeing them step up. You know, we voiced our opinions about that. I don't know what the hell we was actually going to get with that Peacemaker, and then they stepped up, and we finally got, you know, exactly an improvement.
Do you think that was because of InArt, or do you think that was because the community's voice?
I think it was basically both. I think both of them. It had something to do with both, because the thing is, if you're sitting here saying that, okay, now we know just by talking to John that they're licensed for certain things, but back then we didn't know. And I don't know even back then if Hot Toys even probably knew. So if they actually give us a figure like that, they probably were thinking like, well, what if this company does such and such? What if that company does such and such? We got to get on top of this now because we can't lose money and this is hot. So I'm just saying, I think it's a little of both. You know what I mean? But that's the good thing. It's a
It
good
is.
thing. It's such a good thing that we're, you know, when we talk about these things, it's not like, and in my opinion, it's not like we're bashing any company. It's just that we're saying that innovation is there and they kind of help each other out, whether they see it that way or not. They're helping each other move forward. So
Oh yeah.
But still, with my point about the Joker before, what I'm afraid with that rooted hair is that things like this happen. You see this rooted hair, and this was done by Viper.
He just got out of bed.
This was done by Viper. You see how what happens when the hair is dry?
Holy
like-
shit! Looks like la tía Benita.
I'm sorry. Yo, I'm sorry. It's like when we were talking about it, you went straight to Joel, and that's all we seen was that. Like, oh,
Dude.
shit.
I guess it just depends,
Wow.
Joao, because like,
It's like
I got
Will.
it does. I got the Queen Studios Artist Edition Joker recently, and the hair came in like perfect. It's beautiful.
Exactly. But this, we are talking about the figure. This was made in 2017,
Right.
5 years ago.
Right.
5 years ago.
Could be big difference now.
But still looks. Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to
That's funny.
Carlos with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. He said, personally, I can wait for InArt and see what they bring. I've owned every single Iron Man, even the gunmetal, and almost every Marvel and Star Wars figure. Yeah, I think when InArt comes, it's gonna be a massive criticism and really in-depth review of the figure. You know, it's the first time they doing this. So at this point, honestly, it doesn't matter who's gonna have it first, because every review is gonna be valuable to me.
Mhm.
Every single one. If it's 50 reviews, watch all 50 reviews, because every person might get something different. And you will know it's a brand new company, right? With Hot Toys is different, you know, but because we already know Hot Toys, but this one we don't. So you'll see some people are gonna review. I actually got the sculpted one, the sculpted hair, the 2-pack. So it's gonna be interesting to see the magnets, the joints, everything, right? And see how the rooted hair is, and see how the single version is, and see other people how they got their figure, what condition they got it. That's gonna be very interesting to see. I think I'm looking forward to see many reviews, you know, to be honest with you.
Well, and to be fair, dude, with like 160 in here watching, hit that like button.
Come
Obviously,
on.
subscribe to everybody if you haven't. But I want to let everybody know who's watching. I think we're all going to scrutinize the shit out of this Joker,
Oh, for sure.
good or bad. I mean, good or bad, right? We're not just going to be like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever." If I'm like, "Well, this, the hair, you know, whatever," or the legs suck, or you're going to know.
Well, if I get the hair like the Joao's has got, I'm gonna be like, what?
And for $1,000, I mean, yeah,
dude,
bar's high.
I'll be pissed. It has to be perfect. It has to be like when you open it, something comes with a figure like this.
Can you imagine you open your Joker and be hair like this?
Yo, I swear to God.
Oh my God, dude, I would die.
Yo, if that
Or it comes with a ponytail like that, like all up.
Oh
like,
my
I don't
God,
know.
like a
No, I
man
mean,
bun or something.
But just now,
Looks like fucking Carrot Top.
Yo, if that happens,
scale, right?
if that happens, the first person that's going to know, because
Your
it happened
quarter scale
before.
already come with any treatment? Is like if they apply anything on the air, or is
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like there's like a lot of treatment on it. Yeah,
put
there's
some
some sort of
heavy
gel. I didn't
triggers.
smell anything, but it definitely it's like it's pretty solid. I can move it
you
around
didn't
and
touch
stuff.
in the hair, right? You just straight out of the box was
Straight out
okay
of the box,
for
yeah.
this
Oh,
one.
I like moved it slightly, but very barely. Like it looks beautiful out of the box.
I
yeah.
want the figure when you come out, do it like this.
And doesn't look like it will dry up, right?
Yeah, I mean it could, but I mean I don't. The hair is pretty solid to me. Like I don't think it's going anywhere.
Does the
Like, it's,
manual say anything about how to take care of the hair? They
I
give
don't
you
think
any
so.
points? No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't even think it came with like a little comb or anything. But I don't think so. You can just mess with it slightly, but it feels pretty stuck together. Like it's not coming apart unless you pull it apart. You know what I
It'd be
mean? Like
different
it's-
from just the normal, like what rooted you would actually get
Exactly.
it's
from
different.
Hot
It's
Toys.
different.
Like I
Okay.
got Gamora, for example, and the hair was kind of all over the
No,
place,
they-
right?
the
But like
Gamora
with
hair
this,
was
like it
garbage.
was it's solid. Like it's in place. So I think they definitely
yeah.
styled it, Joe, out before they sent it.
Well, Hot Toys always done like that synthetic
Right.
Barbie hair,
Yeah.
not like, you know, where InArts is doing like wool hair, right? Like sheep hair and stuff. So I think maybe over time, a little water here and there,
Right.
you know, just minimal upkeep is the idea anyway.
To me, the hardest one I think to maintain over shipping is going to be Pennywise, because I think his hairstyle is very
Well, he's got the
like
little,
it's got the flippiness and like it's like a
Yeah.
big piece. Like that's gonna be they're gonna have to style that pretty well before they ship it out.
And
So
especially with the eyes, right? It has a purr system. That you can
yeah,
move
they all
the
have
eyes.
purrs, and we don't really know how that's gonna work. Like John was saying,
Mhm.
like you could touch the eye and move it around. I'm like, I don't want to mess up the paint though. Like I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's the you
Yeah,
talked
but-
about the penny eyes or the Joker.
I think he said that's how they're all gonna be. Like he said, for
No,
as far as
because
I
in the
remember.
Joker, I think there is a video you can see they are using the finger under.
I hope
and
so.
then
Yeah.
you move it right there.
Because
not
someone
the
was saying
eye.
it's kind of like you could move the eye around, and I was like, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
no, that'd be weird. I don't want to be
I
like
don't-
Oh, you
moving
tap,
an eyeball.
think-
tap the head.
No.
I don't think their rolling eye system will be the same as Hot Toys because the Hot Toys you really can push the eye until the extreme, until the limit. I think
Right.
there will be maybe less. You will only can touch a bit to the sides, not as much.
Yeah, yeah.
So the novice
I'm
says,
sure.
"Let's witness the good deeds from InArt first before we hand over the key to the city to them. I'm gonna give the keys to my house. to
100%.
InArt. No, of course we need to see. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like when we get the figure, that's what I'm saying. That first review, man, those reviews are gonna be
It's gonna be brutal.
brutal. Like everyone needs to watch all the reviews that are out
I
there,
don't-
no matter who it is.
I
You
don't
need to
think
watch-
though. I don't think that, in a sense, I mean, at least I'm not. I don't think we're basically anybody's handing a key over to them because we know that that's, I think we're not handing a key and we're not willing to basically say that they're the best. I think that in the sense we just want to. Me myself. I just want to see everybody win. I want to actually see. I want variety. To say that I can get a figure from here, I can get a figure from there, and it's actually good. It's not saying that I'm handing the key over to them. I think that basically we just want to see a good product. Of course, once we have to wait and see what we get, in hand. I'm not going to be hypercritical about the Joker because I don't need it to pose the way I want it. Because, like I said, Will, you already know what pose I'm looking for, and that's
the
next to
street.
nothing. That
Street.
street scene is probably one of the best poses out of any figure I've ever seen, and it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just the presence of the figure is what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking. So I think that we already know that, again, Hot Toys is there. We know that point of it. You know what I mean? But I just think, as competition or just as a company that's up and coming, I do want, NRs to have a foot in the game. So, you know what
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I think that there's a lot of people out there. Sorry, that were just kind of like, oh, they're gonna be the Hot Toys killer, or this or that. We see that on forums or groups, and it's like, well, wait a minute, we don't know yet. But I agree with Leo. Like, we just want, and I've always said it. You guys heard, I've said it for months. Is that I think InArts is going to be like a premium grade, different tier figure. That's the goal, right? So then we have, like Leo's saying, we have these options. Be like, well, I got my Hot Toys for this, and if this is something I really like want to spend some extra money on for that, I have this option over here, which is InArt,
Yeah.
and subsequently, if I want stuff no one's really making and it's a pretty decent job, I've got some so-so over here that I can, supplement for my team building or whatever, so more options, the better.
Yeah, I just the thing that I kind of disagree with. I don't think anyone's handing over the key to any city. I don't think it's handing over the key to the city to say that a prototype is good or say that InArt is doing something that we're excited about, right? So I think that is kind of where I think that's like presumptuous. Like no one's really doing that, and like Anthony was saying, like Hot Toys killer, like maybe to a degree, some people are saying that, but I don't think a lot of people are really doing that. I think people are just kind of taking a wait and see approach. And they're saying like, hey, InArt's making some good protos right now. We really want to see what they make in 1.6, and their statues are very good. So yeah, 1.6 a different game, but I do think that, no one's really handing over any keys. I think it's a matter of like, we're excited about something that looks good. And, if we want to take the risk on that and say, okay, if it ends up being not as good as we thought, you lost your pre-order, NRD, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world, right? I'm willing to take that risk on a company that has had a very good track record when it comes to statues and busts. Yeah, 1.6 is different, but they make really good shit. So, and like I said, I think it's more presumptuous on Denobi's part. Like it's taking skepticism to an extreme. I think it's kind of like we want to be skeptical. We want to have a good mindset of like, hey, like let's see what we can get, what we get in hand, right? But it's taking that to like a controversial point where it doesn't need to go. It's kind of saying like, it's saying like, okay, I want to be skeptical and be healthily skeptical, but it's like, it's almost like saying like they're gonna suck ass, like, and it's just not like, it's, I don't think it's helpful. It's kind of like saying, it's more like I said, that's the, I think I take exception to, because I think it's misrepresenting people's ideas. That's what I think is just inaccurate.
Right. Because if we compare that, for example, just to play devil's advocate here, like for example, when Hot Toys announces a prototype of any character, let's go with the most controversial one recently, Doc Ock. Okay, so let's just go straight to that one.
Doc Ock. Oh my
Chevy
God.
Chase.
So
Chevy Chase.
Does that mean that collectors are going to say, I'm not going to get this one at all? This is, I can guarantee you, I can bet money on it. The final product will not look anything like the prototype.
And they already said they're going to work on it, right? They said they were working on it, right? Yeah.
Right. So that's why every time that I see a prototype, I don't judge this head sculpt as harsh, because whether it's their likeness there or not, it's not the final product, and they have time to fix it. And they've done it before, right? Now, with all these companies coming into place, like InArt, the third-party companies, and Social Toys, and then we can talk about J&D apparently going to the 1.6. Hot Toys is going to say, you know what? I don't want to lose my base. I don't want to kind of give my base, the keys of InArt so they can actually go straight to InArt or straight to all the companies. They need to make sure that whatever they're delivering is good. So that's why I said, like, when it's a prototype, if the prototype is good, it's going to sell everyone. I mean, everyone is going to be attracted to buy it, right? Because the prototype looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
What can you say? Well, you're going to say, oh, this prototype is amazing, but it's trash? Of course not.
Right. Like I said, it's good to be skeptical and remain sort of objective and sort of eliminate any bias you have until you get the product in hand. But it like I said, it's just not helpful to say like, like that there's unfair treatment or whatever. Or like, like I said, it just, I think, like I said, it's taking skepticism to the extreme, to the point where like it's just not. It's not, and it's misrepresenting people's ideas.
Exactly. So. And saying like, again, it's not, and like I said, I mean, not to throw anybody under the bus, but to say that we're handing the key over, is one thing, is to say that and to be, but to also say that this company's going to suck is sort of like falls in the same line. You know what I mean? In the sense, it's like, you can't say that we're handing the keys over, but then all of a sudden say that the point that you're making is that, you think in a sense it's going to suck. It's not going to, I don't know. It just doesn't bode well with me, but at the same time, everybody's allowed to have their opinions. So, and that's where it is. And we completely understand that, but it's just a wait and see situation. And I think all of us that have been collecting for a certain amount of time are aware of that. You know what I mean? We're aware that, yes, we're not willing. And I think all of us, Dante, you said it. Casa, you said it. Desi, you said it. I've heard everybody.
Be careful what you're going to say.
Check the legal
contract.
Check the contract.
Check page 6.
I got it right. You said page 6.
Page 6. Page 6 at the bottom. 4th paragraph.
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I can say that. Yeah. But I'm saying that everybody has said that, plain and simple, it's a wait and see situation.
Right.
And we're going to wait until we get that figure in. We're not willing to say, oh, yes, we saw the prototype. We have actually even saw some production photos. But until you get it in hand, you already know, like we're conscious enough to know that we have to wait and see, because again, if it comes back like, Joao,
right?
That shit is hilarious.
Crazy.
Somebody's got to screen cap that. That's in our production piece, right, Joao?
That's a way to start some fake news. Just be like, I've got my early InArt.
Joao got his YouTuber copy.
Product of the InArt.
Right.
I mean, the head sculpt looks really good, to be fair.
Really
good. Well,
Beetlejuice.
This head sculpt is from Viper. This is a Viper Joker.
Yeah. I kind of understand what I understand what everybody means. I think what maybe, and this is a good thing, I think, but I can see where one may think that way, is that all year we've all been talking about InArt, right? Lots of positivity, of course, because we want something good, right? But if you think about it, like all year, that's all we've been talking about. I mean, amongst, the Hot Toys stuff, but it's been a prominent topic of conversation. You know, John's been on all of our channels, you know, et cetera, and we don't know anything yet. And it's awesome to see all this cool stuff. So I get where one could think that to a point where it's like, damn, that's all we've been hearing is this InArt, but let's see it. But I agree with everybody on the panel. It's like, let's see it, right? Because we don't know. I mean, it could be. I don't think so. I mean, deep down, dude, as a human being, I don't think it's going to be a flop. I really don't. But it's still so hard, right? So you have to be a little bit, you know, skeptical
right,
without knowing anything, just because of the. Here's our first figure. It's $1,000. I hope you enjoy it in a year, right? And we don't, you know, so that's where I get that side, right? But I also understand, like, we all just want something awesome at the end of the day, and having those options. And I think they're going to do it. I mean, fingers crossed anyway. I think they're going to do it. So,
yeah.
You know, my 2 cents on this one is that, you know, I agree with what you said, Anthony, and everyone on the panel and on the chat. I actually agree with all the points, because those are valid, right? We pretty much, InArt was smart, very smart. This is what they do good, marketing. And they have us always talking about them, and that's what they need to do, right? Because they are launching a new product. Of course, we're going to talk about, we're going to speculate, we're going to, you know, ask questions to John and people from InArt to get answers. You know, my concern right now, to be honest with you, I don't think the quality is going to be an issue. I don't think the head sculpt is going to be an issue. My concern right now are those, you know, the joints, the body they're going to use. You know, even though they say it's going to be top notch, that's still my concern. I want to see how that's going to come out. If it comes good, of course, it's going to be perfect, right? Everyone is going to be happy. We're going to move on. Remember, we're buying all this overseas from not an official distributor. So if we have any issues with the figures, it's going to be on us. We need to figure out how to fix it with whoever we bought it from. So that's another thing that we need to add into play too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking about though, Dante, now that you're talking about that.
Hold up, check the papers.
What's up?
Check the papers. Check the papers.
Check the papers.
Page 7.
Just to make sure.
Make sure it's page 7 reading there.
Page 7.
Man, what page? What
the fine print, bro.
It is 7. It is page 7. He's right.
Okay, cool. Damn. All right, listen. But no, what I forgot about was the simple fact that it's not just one figure. We're getting 2. And I keep forgetting about that. Right? Literally, I am. So when I think about that, I'm like, damn, I forgot the simple fact that we're getting the gel cell and the seated version as well. So I don't even know how that particular figure is going to articulate, or how that's going to be, if it's just going to be a seated position, or what is it? I don't know. Like, nobody.
I think he said it's going to be it's going to be like 2 figures like normal. I mean,
yeah,
okay. And you can
they had poses
that?
of him like standing up.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
But even with that, like I said, I mean, it's to kind of, you know, make sure that, I mean, it's 2 figures that we got to kind of look at here. So it's just like, wow, like it's double your pleasure, but actually could it be double trouble at that particular point?
Could be. So,
again, it's just like waiting to see, because that's 2 things in one, and on top of that, the diorama base. You know what I mean? Is that going to maintain your, because do I have to, let me see on here, because I can say that, because
it was page 8,
by the way, we just need
article 17.
We just need 9
more likes.
Oh,
so,
we got that.
Oh yeah, we can say that. Yeah, everybody.
We're 92 now.
But what I was going to say is, am I going to be impressed? Yeah, check that memo. Check it. Am I going to be impressed? I can say that, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Am I going to be okay? Cool. Am I going to be impressed with that diorama base, or am I honestly going to hit up Desi and be like, "Yo, I don't like this, bro. Like, I need something else,
Desi
man.
needs to step in."
Am I going to have to send my diorama base to you to kind of spice it up a bit and make it look better? I mean, but I'm just being real. Like, we got to look at those things, the accessories that come with that piece. Is it going to live up? You know what I mean? So again, on top of that little ass gun, and it comes with, they say, it comes with bullets that you can put in that joint. Am I going to lose them shits? I'm afraid, because that shit's
will. See, I have the Didco. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Didco.
Yeah,
I have I have a lot of their World War II figures. They, you know, this is not new, right? Like my guns, like the bar, you know, the Thompson. They're metal weapons. You can load the magazines. You can load the bullets. You will lose shit like that. Like if you're not, careful. So some things may stay in the box unless you're going to like set up this display and it's now your forever pose, and you can have a couple of casings on the ground to kind of accentuate the piece a little bit, the display, and then don't touch it.
Yeah. I'm not going. I probably won't end up putting them shits in there in the first place. I'll just leave it the way it is and just let it be that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So it's been a fun night, guys. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Come on, let's get to 100 likes, please. We have 175 people watching. We only need 5 more likes. You guys are the best.
It's like
I think now the Joker, this Joker deserves some likes now, because now it's a bit.
All we needed was a little Joao styling, and that's it.
That still looks bad.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Joao played with, even if the hair came out looking like Beetlejuice, right? Joao did that in like 30 seconds. So I mean, it looks
well, that's the second half.
He put some product in there.
Yeah, he did.
It was just water.
Product. H2O.
He spit on his hand.
Oh,
and by the way, happy birthday to Evangelium. It's his birthday today.
Yes.
So let's break to 100 likes. Do it for the Emperor. Do it.
I think what a lot of people don't know, because what are we at? Are we at? Well, I think we might be at 100 likes, but it's. I think people don't realize if they close like the chat box, like, boop, and then you just hit the like button, and then you can hit live chat, and then you're right back here.
Well, that's right.
There you go.
Just like that. If you're on your phones,
It can be
Just
done.
like that.
it can be done.
Because if you don't hit the like button, you're gonna get this.
Okay, we're at 101 right now.
That is good. So that's the movie. I haven't seen it yet. Just that clip. Just that clip makes me not want to watch the movie.
Hold up. How were we just at? Okay, now we're at 102. I was about to say Facebook. YouTube plays tricks on people, man.
They do.
I forgot to hit the like button until right now, so I'm 102.
Hey, we all do it.
We're 104. We're at 104 right now.
Dislike and then like again.
There we go. We're at 104.
Thanks, man. Thanks. But
so we have Endor.
Endor.
5 hours.
Yeah, Endor tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah.
5 hours.
Yeah.
3 episodes.
It's 3. Oh,
Getting
nice.
killer
Yeah, they're
reviews.
gonna drop it with 3.
Nice.
And it's only 5.
No, there's 12
I was about to say. I was like,
for this season.
That's long compared to Obi-Wan, and what was Boba Fett, like 7 or 8 or something like that?
I think it was 8.
5. I mean, the rest was Mando.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's actually really true.
You mean Boba Fett's cameo? In his own
Yeah, right.
show?
Boba Fett's cameo in his own show.
So,
Yeah.
But before you end it, though, let me ask you, Dante.
Page 8.
Okay. Let me ask you, if you had to guess now, consider the simple fact that, again, we probably won't see any type of production photos or anything. If you had to guess, what figure would we actually see released this week?
Remember that Hot Toys still need to release the Boba repainted armor with throne.
They haven't done it yet, but
It's not
I
released
think well, Desi sent me a picture of Echo that is shipping soon. I don't know if it
Mm-hmm.
shipped already. I think we should see. I have a feeling we're gonna see Ahsoka from Mandalorian.
We're not going down that road again, are we? We did that shit last October.
It's been like a whole month.
I
You've been saying that for a
have a
month,
feeling,
Dante.
No,
man.
I just remember we all last year we were like Ahsoka, and then like
right.
crickets for like fucking. No, who knows?
There was
You
a
might be
rumor
right, though.
Loki's coming soon, so I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
Loki 20, the Loki from the Avengers, it should be coming too. I don't know, man. At this point, whatever comes, it comes, man.
Yeah.
It's just having fun. I can wait for the Joker InArt so I can do the review. I'm not sure if we're gonna be the first one, maybe not, but at this point, I think you should watch every review. To be honest with you, it's gonna help you.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fun. No matter who gets it when, and especially the people who get it wrong with a damage or something. I want to see that too, because
that's the other cool thing, right? Like you were saying, if we all have done reviews, we can all see the initial, unboxing. Like what's the quality control? Like what if yours is like Joel's hair, and what if Will's arm is disconnected when whatever, right? Like we'll be able to see that. Like
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Wow.
I hope not too. I'm just saying, like,
No, I mean, I'm thinking about you guys, right? Because if my Joker have a problem, I can get a replacement pretty fast. But for you, it's a hassle because you need to send back and then send back again.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I
guys.
think
So
they will take care about this.
let's wrap this up real quick. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching at home. Thank you, the panel. You guys are amazing. Obviously, you guys run the show. I just have to kind of like check the chat and make sure everyone behaves. But before we finish, I want to go over everyone and see what's going on. Mr. Costa, thank you so much for being with us. What's up on your channel, my friend?
I have a new a new show on Sundays, I guess, called Show Off, where I'll show you off and like your displays and stuff. I do some tips and things, and then I'm planning on getting people on there, and we can go do like a mini tour of their collection, kind of. So that's where the name Show Off comes from. I think I'm also going to unveil my latest display design, which you're the only one at this moment that knows what it kind of looks like. So that is probably going to happen Sunday. And then if you want to make any of this stuff, my channel, I have it. If you want to make your own, we'll call it a Maji case. If you want to make one of those too, I show you how to make those too. So
nice.
Come on over. I'm only 16 away from 2,000.
Okay, come on. Everyone subscribe right now to everyone's
They're
channel.
already
here.
subscribed. Everybody in this thing is already subscribed. I know.
You never know. Some people are not on the chat, so they can actually subscribe as well.
Come on.
Thank you, my friend. Jesse, what's going on in your world, my friend?
Well, in my area, not much work, the day job. But I am working on a very long diorama, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm editing that right now. And at the moment, it's about 20 hours long, so that won't do. But that'll be coming out hopefully at the end of September, I hope. So I've got another week. But until then, if you want to learn how to make dioramas, please visit my channel. Thank you. And subscribe to everybody here. That's important.
That's very,
excellent
very
content.
important. Mr. Will, Mr. Doctor, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a fun show. You guys, made the show pretty much. But what's going on in your world, my friend?
Dude, well, thanks for having me, Dante. Like I said, good to be back, man. And I appreciate you hanging out on Sunday too when we interviewed John. That was fun. And I'll be back, I'm sure, hopefully sometime soon if you'll have me. And I got Lael's show tomorrow, so at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, the Say What show. So I'll be on that. It'll be fun.
I gotta we gotta talk because we gotta figure out, because on this piece of paper, we'll talk about it later on, because I'm only allowed to invite Dante like at least 3 to 4 times a year. I don't know why he put that in here.
Contractual obligation.
It must be. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But, but I'm excited about that tomorrow. And I'll have Friday show with Lights Camera Collect. I'm not sure who will be on that yet. As like I said, still got to figure that out. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Collectors Mingles every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, thanks so much for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Thank you, my friend Lael. Just make sure and be careful what you're going to say. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And what's going on in the 1/6 scale, man? 2099. I thought you removed the 2099, didn't you?
No, I didn't. It's still there. It's 20.
I thought you removed it and put it back. I don't know.
No, it's still there. I mean, it's not up on a. I need to put it there because it's in the name, so I need to put 2099. I just haven't done it yet. I don't know if it might get copywritten or.
Why not 2069?
So tomorrow. Tomorrow we got Say What Wednesday, where we'll be going over the new. It's actually called the new. And the reason why I labeled that was based off the conversation that we kind of had the other night, and that is pretty much collecting after streaming platforms. We know how we were basically before streaming platforms took place, and how we used to get our figures in and they were never as many delays. But after streaming platforms came out and we started getting Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, stuff like that, now we're seeing all the delays because there's an influx of figures. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. And yeah, we have that. We have Uncivilized Scoundrels on Thursday, where we talk about Andor. Friday is Figure Flex Friday, and then Collectors Lounge International on Sunday. Yes. So that's pretty much it right now, bro.
It's been nice to have you here. It's been fun.
Hell yeah.
I had so much fun on Sundays. Will's show
yeah.
as well. It
Hell yeah.
was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
Mr. Joao, BIGBREDA, what's going on with your channel, my friend? And thank you so much for being with us tonight.
No, it was amazing. I'm going to review the Kingpin from So Toys. It's going out, I think, after tomorrow.
Really? You have it already?
I should receive it after tomorrow, I think. I already paid it. Yeah, it's the Kingpin. So who is saying what?
What?
Who said what? Okay, doesn't matter.
I don't know. What
just want to give a shout out to Queen Studios. Thanks for being in the chat because I saw they were there. And
is it really them?
Yeah,
it's really
them.
them.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was them or not.
Thanks for coming by. And any statues and figures, you can send one to each one of us. We can send you the address if you need. And yeah, well, thank you for having me. It was an amazing show.
Oh, thank you so much. And of course, last but certainly not least, Mr. Anthony Sixco Mafia, thank you so much for stopping by. Please tell us what's going on your world, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you as always for the invite. My audio is still messing up. I was surprised I went as long as I did. So, I don't know, man. What is going on over here? Well, I did start my new show on Sundays. That's that follow up, which was really cool. We did it Sunday. So that was badass. Taking in calls and stuff is really, really cool. So we'll be doing that every Sunday now. I'm following up the Saturday show, and then, just other stuff, man, here and there, reviews here and there, some of my retro review stuff, and then, hanging out with all these fine gentlemen, here and there throughout the days. So again, subscribe to everybody here if you have not, man. Everybody here is the bee's knees. Is that what the kids say these days? I don't know. No. Yeah, no, but it's awesome, man. It's always good times. Well, I'm looking through the papers. We can't say certain words. So
yeah, you can't. You can't.
No,
it's you can. I can't.
Oh, I've got a whole different set of rules.
Oh, okay. He gave you something?
Oh yeah. I think he gave us all copies.
Dang.
I don't go by the rules. Fuck.
Oh, you're a rebel, man.
Is my audio good?
No, man.
No.
It sounds like you're in a fucking bathroom.
You're in a cave.
Okay.
It's like your mic shut off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something happened, but
what about now?
Yeah, it's better.
It sounds better.
Yeah,
that sounds like
sounds
forbidden
better.
And now the
language
show's
again.
over.
Hands. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, was that for a long time or just for a little bit?
Yeah, it was like
the
5 minutes.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours. Yeah.
Fuck. Thanks, guys, for telling me. Sorry, guys, I was in the
Since
bathroom.
last week.
I'm streaming in the bathroom. This is my green screen, like Anthony said.
That's why I said.
Now we're just gonna let it go, Dante, because we were about the end of the show, and I was like, "Fuck it, it's not worth saying anything." Just let it go.
No, it's but no, awesome, man. Obviously, good times tonight, everybody, as always.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, and of course, what's going on my channel. First of all, I want to thank every one of you guys. Costa, Desi, Will, Lyle, BIGBREDA, Joao, Julio, and Anthony, and you guys at home. Thank you so much for stopping by on a Tuesday. So we have a show on Friday, Collector's Night. So stay tuned for the panel announcement. I'm gonna get my Mojo cases tomorrow. Finally, tomorrow I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna put it together as soon as I can, but I'm going to also make a small change in my little office space here. So you're going to see a few new things, a few light features that I'm going to install and all that. So it's going to be fun. I'll do a video with my whole desk set up, the collection tour updated with the Mojo cases and everything. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully by the end of October. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow all my friends here. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, social media, TikTok. And that's
Check with his lawyer first.
Check with my lawyer first. No Tinder because my wife doesn't like that. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. And as always, be well and see you around in the next video.
You look like